Navegar em ambientes de alto risco quando não se consegue ver o que está à frente não é tarefa fácil. Mas é o tipo de incerteza que as ações comerciais de Donald Trump impuseram aos trabalhadores fabris da China.
President Trump ramping up trade tensions again.
The word tariff, music to my ears.
So we're in the realm of just endless tit for tat.
This just kind of indicates how much of a moving target this has really become.
Estão em jogo centenas de bilhões de dólares em comércio bilateral e acesso ao maior mercado consumidor do mundo, apoiado pelo poder de compra americano.
This trade war basically leaves no one untouched, whether that's investors, business people, or officials in any country.
It just seems like every manufacturer in China realizes that they need to have strategies in case things get worse.
No entanto, duas coisas estão ficando claras. Primeiro, que encontrar um substituto para o poderoso consumidor americano é tão essencial quanto difícil. E segundo, que apesar de todo o caos tarifário, os fabricantes chineses não estão com pressa para transferir a produção para os Estados Unidos.
Americans don't want to make spatulas. They want to eat hamburgers. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I want to eat hamburgers too, but I'm here in China making the spatulas to do it. Americans don't want these jobs, and to think that manufacturing would go back to the United States is a farce.
Os fabricantes chineses tiveram que se acostumar a viver com incertezas.
They're not looking at their strategy 5, 10 years down the line. They're looking to keep their factories open for the next few months.
E isso está custando dinheiro e clientes.
Typically, we'll do about 150 to 160 million in revenue. This year, we're down about 20%. Our customers are essentially on pause.
Até mesmo os exportadores de incenso destinado a estúdios de yoga, pessoas que você esperaria que fossem bastante zen, estão preocupadas com a demanda.
12月份到5月份这个期间呢，我们所有的工厂的这个生产是停滞，然后我们的所有的人力成本还需要去做额外的一些支付。
Você provavelmente sabe o porquê.
We really need to change the way trade works around the world.
We basically saw in April that the US and China traded these tit-for-tat tariff hikes, which raised tariffs up to 145% for Chinese goods going to the US and 125% for US goods coming to China. In mid-May, we saw those tariffs reduced.
Ainda assim, Trump continua com ameaças, inclusive a países que ajudam a China a contornar as tarifas. O comércio entre os dois países tem crescido constantemente nos últimos 25 anos.
We're looking at basically $600 billion worth of goods traded between the two nations last year.
E com isso vem um déficit comercial crescente. Em 2024, os Estados Unidos importaram quase 439 bilhões de dólares em mercadorias da China. Mas as exportações dos Estados Unidos para a China totalizaram pouco mais de 143 bilhões. Isso representa uma diferença, ou um déficit comercial, de cerca de 295 bilhões de dólares.
One country actually said to me, I was amazed that we were able to get away with it for this long.
No entanto, o governo dos Estados Unidos argumenta que as tarifas são a melhor maneira de lidar com os desequilíbrios comerciais.
Chinese manufacturers, they don't understand why the U.S. is doing this. For a lot of Chinese exporters, it's going to be a lot more costly, a lot more difficult to sell to the U.S. market going forward.
The concern is that companies that will no longer have access to their biggest export market will then need to cut prices, let go of people, there will be lower wages, and that's going to dampen consumer sentiment. Consumer confidence in China is already at historic lows because of this prolonged property crisis where a lot of wealth is tied up.
Apesar de toda a incerteza, os dados mais recentes mostram que a economia chinesa parece ter se mantido estável, apesar da queda no comércio com os Estados Unidos. O produto interno bruto da China cresceu 5,2% no segundo trimestre do ano, acima do esperado, enquanto as exportações para os Estados Unidos caíram 24% no mesmo período. As exportações totais da China aumentaram mais de 6% durante o mesmo período. Mas o país enfrenta uma deflação persistente, o que significa que as empresas estão ganhando menos dinheiro e ficando mais relutantes em investir e contratar.
Although China has signaled this intention to shift to a more consumer-driven economy, it still really depends on its manufacturing sector to be able to meet its growth targets.
À medida que a incerteza em torno dos planos tarifários de Trump persiste, fabricantes, trabalhadores e suas famílias ficam presos em um limbo e se preparam para o pior.
Although Chinese exports to the U.S. account for something like 3% of GDP, once you take into the secondary effect, the loss of jobs, lower wages, potentially price cuts to get rid of inventory, then we're looking at a much worse situation and potentially a deflationary spiral.
E assim, com um ataque comercial de Trump prejudicando as relações entre as maiores economias do mundo, os fabricantes chineses buscam alternativas. Por um lado, as empresas e distribuidoras americanas que compram produtos fabricados na China precisam de tempo para planejar os pedidos. Na Velong Enterprises, uma fabricante em Guangdong, Jacob Hoffman afirma que isso não tem sido possível.
There are buying cycles, and they only happen once a year. And shipping for those categories, no matter what it is, are regimented to those shipping cycles.
Frequentemente, a política dos Estados Unidos também tem sido confusa. O adiamento de 90 dias das tarifas de Trump após o seu chamado Dia da Libertação não ajudou empresas como a Jacob.
Saying how his staff let out a big cheer when they heard about the reduction. Later that evening, his U.S. customers called him and said they were still upset.
They didn't know where to place their orders because we're too late for the previous season that they missed product for and too early for the next season. So where do they place their orders?
A mais de 1.000 quilômetros a oeste, fora da cidade de Kunming, Jonathan Wang dirige a Shantwild, uma marca de incensos. A empresa familiar faz seus produtos artesanalmente há mais de uma década.
They have their own workshop, their own farm. And over the last year or so, Jonathan has decided to export to the U.S.
本来我们是预计今年年初的时候就想进入到美国市场的，但是由于特朗普政府然后的关税政策不断的变化，我们一直往后延期。关税开始有一些变化的时候，我们就开始故意放缓了我们出口的这个脚步。那么包括工厂这边的产能，我们也是做了这个调整，然后不要那么多。
Ele também foi afetado pelo fim da brecha tarifária de minimis, um termo latino que significa muito pequeno para importar. Isso permitia que pequenas empresas enviassem pacotes de baixo valor isentos de impostos.
那么在小包裹的这个政策，然后取消了以后，然后开始慢慢的有更多的关税的新闻出来以后，我们会发现说，我们没有办法在小包裹的这个运输上面去留给我们自己足够的利润空间。
Em um esforço para contornar a escalada das tarifas, muitas empresas na China continental adotaram o chamado modelo China Plus One. A Índia e o Sudeste Asiático foram os principais beneficiados.
Our first factory outside of China was in Cambodia, and it was during President Trump's first term. And it was really to test if we could project our manufacturing beyond China. Since 70% of our goods go to the United States, we did have to, of course, make cuts to our manufacturing staff.
We've seen a pretty big exodus to Southeast Asia to take advantage of those lower labor costs, but also for the proximity to Chinese raw materials.
We have no choice, so even within this year, our Cambodian factory doubled in size. So did our factory outside of Delhi, and our factory outside of Mumbai is adding new manufacturing space now.
We've already seen exporters look to emerging markets or other developed markets for those goods that they're no longer able to sell to the US.
30% of our volume is going to Europe. Presumably, we could say, well, let's stop US business, right? Let's focus on Europe. But then you have every single company and manufacturing firm focusing on a smaller market. Competition becomes even more fierce for Europe.
我们的确有考虑过要放弃美国市场，然后看是否转战欧洲或者东南亚市场。但是我们会发现，欧洲那一边它其实市场已经相对成熟了，它有自己比较丰富的一些香薰产品。
It's very hard to replace the U.S. consumer. It's the biggest market, and the American consumers are very open to new ideas and trying new trends.
There's just no way that China can fill that volume of exports quickly, whether it's emerging markets or developed countries. But in the long term, they're hoping that these emerging markets will provide a way out.
Não há substituto rápido para o mercado americano. O poder de compra do consumidor americano é muito forte, mesmo com tarifas. As empresas chinesas não estão totalmente assustadas. Em vez disso, trata-se de gerenciar um relacionamento incerto e se preparar para o pior.
So the conversations in Beijing, whether it's among officials, business people, academics, it's not really about how to rebuild the relationship with the US. It's about managing the decoupling and how to do it in the least painful way possible.